You know the HONEYDAY event, the 48-hour period where sweaty players slave their sleep away, spending countless hours calculating the perfect build for a beehive. They put more work into this than I did on my college application. But despite me having less white drives than brain cells, I want to attempt the impossible task of making 1 quadrillion honey this HONEYDAY. This was such a bad idea. Why am I even doing it? Alright, so we begin on day 1. On day 1, I completed 3 separate boosts, and the first 2 were literal garbage. The first one specifically because I did it live, but I had so many people in the server and such bad connection that my gummy ball was not working at all. My honey was just the equivalent of a dying economy. Yeah, so that boost was crap, only 83 T. The second one actually wasn't too bad. I think I made about 250 T from that, and it was pretty decent, but I knew I could do so much better. Specifically because I didn't end up using an F-bean or a marshmallow bee for this boost. Which leads me to the only thing I'm actually proud of in the last 2 days, boost number 3. Of course, I begin with the horrible gummy ball throw. I told you I'm still getting ready. After that, I actually managed to spawn my first precise marks of the boost, and we get 3 in a row. Now, this is a pretty decent lineup, but only if I throw the gummy ball this way. Thankfully, my dumb brain actually remembers to do that, and within a few seconds, boom, the gummy ball has been thrown, except it wasn't completely lined up, so it's doing decent, but oh my gosh, we end up with a gummy star in the first few seconds of the boost. I was not ready for this. Thankfully, I just had a decent gummy ball throw, but I remember to F-bean, so now my instant conversion tokens are scattered all over the field. Meanwhile, I'm trying to get a good gummy ball combo, I'm failing, and of course, coconut combo happens at the same time. I'm literally just trying to collect instant conversion tokens, and the world is just crumbling in on me. Now, thankfully, throughout this, I'm able to get at least a 6 trill gummy star, which is decent for the amount of drives I have, but I was focusing too much on trying to collect the cocoa combo because my friends that were supposed to help me do it were not doing it, and a little bit of failed boosting later. We actually managed to get a decent star of about 60. Then of course my brain farts and I forget that I'm supposed to be collecting these honey tokens, which are worth literal trillions of honey. I end up remembering and I get most of them, I'd say. After that, I waste a smiley token right there, and then I go try and get more precision because I really don't want to lose that 10x, except shocker, earlier in the boost I actually did lose times 10 precision right there. You can see now I only have 4x, which just goes to show how horrible white booster I am, or rather how horrible my attention span is because I always get distracted and then lose precision. Now right here, I'm trying to get a good gummy ball, but then I again fail. I wasn't completely lined up and I wasn't able to get any precise marks in time once again because I'm working on building up my precision that I lost. Oh, how my boost is feeling like a dying star. Now I once again try and get some more precise marks. Once again, I fail. I guess at this point, I'm just trying to get my precision back up again because keep in mind, I have none. All right, this is my first chance to actually get a mark and I miss it. We still have 9x precision, so I decide I'm going to go for the mark rather than the precision because I know I can get that later. It's just because I was about to have a gummy ball throw, and man, did it pay off because we literally got a gummy star right there. Right off the bat, it's starting to look like a pretty good star, and I have confidence that I can actually impress my parents with this one. And honestly, I'm pretty sure this was actually one of my better stars in the entirety of the boost. I actually start to get some precise marks. It doesn't spawn for some freaking reason, so I line up my gummy ball right here on this edge of the field. I throw it and just pray that I get a 1000x combo. Surprise, surprise, I did not. I got about 500, which was pretty decent, but still better than nothing. So I stretch a few more marks trying to build up this gummy ball, and boom, my gummy star pops, and I end up with about 8 to 9 trillion worth of honey in the honey tokens. Of course, once I collect it, it becomes more like 14 trillion because, you know, honey from tokens is OP. It's at this point I'm realizing, hey, this might actually be a pretty decent boost. Now here, once again, we have a less than stellar gummy ball throw. There was only 1 precise mark in there, so it doesn't really help. We end up with like 250x gummy ball combo, only a quarter of what I would have hoped for. Yet again, another smiley. Now there are marks all over the place and I can't see, and I'm about as blind as my grandma when she forgets to wear her contacts. Thankfully though, I at least remember to get my precision up, so that way I don't lose times 10 precision for the second time this boost. I get another precise mark. I'm hoping that a gummy star spawns pretty soon, so I get my gummy ball ready to launch it into next week, and it's at this point I can just pray that we get something better. That was a really good time to get a precise mark there. Of course I did not though. I just got times 10 precision. Somehow though, I did end up with a 1000x gummy ball combo, so at least that's a win right there. I'm not completely disappointed with myself anymore. The sad thing is that we didn't actually have a gummy star there, and of course I waste yet another gummy ball throw. Would you look at that? I think I might just break the record for most failed gummy balls. And of course here we get a gummy star. Now this is actually really good news for me because if you look on the right there, I have a really good lineup of 3 precise marks all next to each other, so hopefully past me remembers to flip my camera 90 degrees. There we go, I actually did do it, and just in the nick of time, otherwise I would have missed it. Now this is where I'm about to lose times 10 precision. Would you look at that? We're about to lose it in the middle of this beautiful gummy star. I'm realizing this and I'm internally panicking, and boom, 1, 2, 3, there goes my times 10 precision in the middle of what could have been a good gummy star, but now it's going to absolutely suck. So it pops. There's about probably like 2 trillion worth of honey in the honey tokens scattered around the field. I'm too busy trying to keep up my times 10 precision again because I lost it all. And now once again I get yet another gummy star, which I was completely unprepared for because I have no precise marks and I'm trying to get up my times 10 precision. You see, gummy stars are like high school exams. You spend so long preparing for them, but then the second you let your guard down, one of them appears and you realize you were not ready in the slightest. It's another day of learning life lessons from Bee Swarm Simulator. Now this one I actually do manage to pull through, however. This is the equivalent of last minute studying, and I do manage to get it up to around 6T. That's 6 trillion, not 60 trillion. I'm not gonna hit those kind of numbers without 500 wide drives. Let's be real, people. Now I do remember to get my honey tokens this time, and so I begin running around like a 3-year-old girl on 10 pounds of cake. I'm now the most hyperactive child in Bee Swarm Simulator, and I'm doing everything in my power to get those honey tokens because those are the only thing that stand in the way of me and the leaderboard. Now I thought I got a gummy star right there, but it turns out it was just my friend who was gum dropping. They should really add a hide other gummy stars feature so that way Bee Swarm doesn't bring up my hopes and dreams before relentlessly crushing them into the ground. Once again, just like high school. And of course I end up with yet another gummy star. My gummy star luck during this boost was honestly pure insanity. I was getting gummy stars more often than I was remembering to breathe, because we all know I was holding my breath during this boost, hoping that I didn't make a complete fool out of myself in front of the whole YouTube community. Now once again, the gummy star turned out decent, but still it's not even at 1 trillion honey yet, and then suddenly, would you look at that, it's at 2 and 3, now it's at 4. Gosh, the gummy stars really do grow up so fast. Now we've got a 5T gummy star. I almost got it to 6T, but then the gummy star imploded like a nuclear warhead, so I once again basically had no choice but to run around and get as many of the honey tokens as possible. Now right there is a horrible example of a gummy ball throw. If I just turned vertically, there were 3 precise marks down there in the bottom left corner of the field, and I could have gotten so much gummy ball combo, and it would have paid off because would you look at that, speak of the devil, we get a gummy star. We get a gummy star at the worst possible time because I just wasted a gummy ball and I just wasted another one right there. Thankfully there are 2 precise marks right there, but it would have worked so much better if I just threw it the other way. Now we've got 4 right here, so I really got my hopes up, hoping that we can get an amazing gummy ball combo here. Of course, now I'm just trying to build up my gummy ball. Thankfully I remember not to lose times 10 precision, so we save it right there. The gummy ball is about to end, and so is the gummy star, sadly, so I'm doing my best to get some last few good triangles in before the star implodes, and would you look at that, it's gone. Honey tokens all over the field once again. I made about 5.5 trillion from that gummy star, which is pretty decent and better than some of the other ones in this boost, but hey, we gotta move on sometimes. So thankfully right here I actually throw one of my best gummy ball throws of the boost. Sadly there weren't actually too many precise marks in there, and I could have gotten another one, but I remember to get my precision. So we got about 500 gummy ball combo, so maybe it wasn't one of the best throws the boost. Here we used a smiley because I love watching the field go boom, and collecting one of those smiley tokens is just the most satisfying thing ever. Or my bad, satisfying things ever. Wow, my English really is bad, which is strange because the only language I've ever spoken in my life is English. Anyways, personal backstory aside, I go AFK here for a second because I'm trying to get some gumdrops on my alt. That of course is when my precise bees spawn a ton of precise marks, and I was not ready for it, so I try my best, but I indeed fail a little bit. And of course my gummy ball throws at the worst possible time. I was not ready for that. I wish I could have thrown it right there in the top right corner, but now I can do nothing but hopefully just get more precise marks. Of course that's when the gummy ball decides to disappear, so I'm left with 500x gummy ball combo, desperately trying my best. Now the field is absolutely covered in marks and I'm feeling overjoyed, and of course this is perfect timing because I get a gummy star. The only sad thing is that my gummy ball is now smaller than my will to live during finals week, so we managed to build it up a little bit, and while it may look huge from the outside, it really is only a 200 billion honey gummy star. I know reality can often be disappointing, but then suddenly I pull through and now it's up to 5T. It really was a Beesmas miracle right there. I don't know what I did to deserve this, and now it's suddenly at 10T, now 11T. This is honestly one of the best stars of my entire boost. I'm gonna try my best to get it up to 12T, but then ultimately fail. Boom, we once again have another implosion from the gummy star, and my brain farts once again for a second. I forget that these honey tokens are worth more than my life right now. Thankfully, I come to my senses, slap myself awake, and now I'm going and collecting all the honey tokens. Now, it's at this point that my oblivious brain neglects the fact that I am only at 1 minute left on my 4x spider boost. And now would you look at that, my goldfish brain is now distracted by a gummy star. And this is where I'm absolutely gonna throw. And I try my hardest to get this gummy ball up as much as possible. And while I'm doing decent in the first half, or rather less than stellar, I begin to wonder why I'm not getting that much honey in my gummy star. Well, that's because Doofus, you just lost 4x spider boost and I didn't even realize. I didn't even make it up to 1T on that star, which is more sad than my state testing grades. It's at this point I realize I have thrown my 4x spider boost out the window, so I go and grab my loaded dice. Thankfully, I at least remember to use a glitter at first, so that way I don't have to waste even more loaded dice down the road. I wait a couple seconds, and then this is when I start using my loaded dice again. Do we get spider? No, we didn't get spider. Do we get spider again? Yes, we finally got spider. Honestly though, my loaded luck is terrible. Thankfully though, we do have another guiding star in the field. For some reason, we got about 3 different guiding stars in the field during the entirety of this boost. Like, it was actually insane. Of course, I don't care about that right now. I'm just trying to get my precise marks for the gummy ball. I do some quick parkour through those marks, and I do manage to get the mark at the end, but it's all the way at the end of the field, so it's actually completely worthless to me. You never know if someone else will end up using that mark though. You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure. It's at this point a sticker sprout spawns in the public server hive hubs, so of course I have to stop my boost midway and go get some free stickers. I'm just kidding, I may be stupid, but I'm not that stupid. I just got a nearly 1000x gummy ball combo, so you best bet I'm gonna milk this more than I milked Beesmas 1 month ago. And now once again we have yet another gummy star. See what I mean when I said my gummy star luck was absolutely insane this boost? It really was. I was popping gummy stars faster than Oprah can give out free cars, so this genuinely was one of my most stressful white boosts, because while more gummy stars does equal more honey, it also does equal more emotional stress. And my emotional stress levels were through the roof. While my friends were probably thinking about how I could spend all this honey in Bee Swarm, I was thinking about how I was gonna have to spend my money in Bee Swarm rehab. Now it's at this point in the boost where I've actually run out of my super smoothie buff. Of course, Oblivious Me does not realize that. Thankfully, Oblivious Me wakes up. I realize, wow, I'm absolutely throwing this boost, and I remember to use a super smoothie. And then of course I get a gummy star. And I was really excited to actually make a ton of honey off of this one. I thought I was gonna do pretty dang well. Heck, I was the king of Y hives. I was gonna get 100 trillion. I only made 8 trillion from that gummy star, but it's okay because thanks to honey tokens, that's more like 11 trillion honey. And I wish I could say more interesting stuff happened during this boost, but it was honestly kind of just the same thing over and over again. Getting gummy stars, throwing them, getting times 10 precision, then throwing it. But in the end, I was able to make 810 trillion honey by the end of the day. Now, of course, this was only the first 24 hours of my honey day, and I obviously had another 24 hours remaining. But unlike Mikey, who's been stream boosting for the last 9 hours, I'm actually human, and I've been really stressed with YouTube because I've been editing so much the past 2 weeks. So I just decided to give myself a mental break. So for only 1 day of boosting, I'd say 810 trillion honey is actually kind of good. Well, that was a really emotionally scarring honey day event. I really hope I don't have to do that again. Are you serious on it?